everybody. Thank you for choosing to register to participate in the Respite Night here at Noblesville First United Methodist Church. I am extremely excited to share this opportunity with you and look forward to having you join us. Our primary goal is to reduce the amount of caregiver burden and amount of caregiver stress that many of you may be experiencing due to the amount of caregiver responsibilities associated with caring for a child with a disability. Our intent is to improve your psychological well-being and overall health and wellness through your participation in the Respite Night. I want to share some statistics that I found to be interesting and that I think that you may find interesting as well. The first one is from the CDC, who claimed that approximately 1 in 6 children were diagnosed with a developmental disability between the ages of 3 and 17 during the years 2009 and 2017. The second one is from the World Health Organization, who claimed that approximately 39 million children were living in the U.S. with a disability during the year 2018. And this number continues to increase every single year and has increased dramatically when looking back on past decades. And if you stop and think about it, as the number of children diagnosed with a developmental disability continues to increase every single year, so do the number of caregivers caring for those children with a disability. And as the number of caregivers increases, it is likely that the number of individuals living in the U.S. have caregiver burden. Because there's more children with disabilities, more caregivers caring for those children, so there's likely more caregivers out there living with caregiver burden. So these statistics, as well as the other research that I've done over the past 2 to 3 years, warrant the need for the development of this respite care program. So how the Respite Night will work is you will enter the church through door 7 at 6 p.m. with your child. You will sign your child in using the sign-in sheet that we will have for you by providing your signature and the time of your arrival. Then from 6 to 9 p.m., that is when you will be provided the respite. Your child will stay with us at the church, and this is when we encourage you to engage in activities of self-care. Research shows that caregivers of individuals with disabilities often neglect their own mental, physical, emotional, and social needs and put the needs of their child first. And this is what often leads to the increased levels of anxiety, stress, and increases the overall caregiver burden, which then negatively impacts their overall psychological well-being. Well, now is the time you can put your needs first because your child's needs are going to be met by us here at the church. So you're going to have 0 caregiving responsibilities because we are encouraging siblings to attend the Respite Night as well. So you have no caregiving responsibilities, so you can focus completely on yourself. So this is the time when you can engage in that socialization, engage in that leisure that you want to engage in that career exploration, whatever it may be that increases your relaxation, your happiness, your peace, your restfulness. Whatever it is that you are missing out on during the week or the weekends because you're usually tending to the needs of your child and that you feel like you're missing out on, those are the things that you need and we want you to do. That give you happiness, that give you joy, that give you energy and make you feel whole and at rest. That's what we want you to do. That way you have energy and effort and motivation to then care for your child more during the week and not feel so run down and tired. That is our goal. So meanwhile, back at the church, your child is going to be engaging in activities and fun and stations that we have set up throughout the rooms designated for the Respite Night. So they will be engaging in stations that relate to social skills, fine motor skills, and gross motor skills during the first half of the night. Then halfway through the night, they will be provided a snack, and we also encourage that you pack your child a dinner. That way it just reduces the amount of handling of food items that will occur. And after the snack and dinner comes the second half of the night, which will be a movie. We're doing this just to help calm the children down, unwind after a fun and exciting first half of the session. That way we don't send them home all wound up. And then at 9 p.m., you will come and pick up your child, and that'll be the end of the Respite Night. Your child will also be paired up with a trained volunteer throughout the entire duration of the Respite Night. The trained volunteer will act as their buddy and follow them around from station to station, engaging in conversation, just making sure everything flows smoothly. That way nobody is left out. They always have a partner. Just a buddy system has been proven to work well. Volunteers are required to attend a mandatory training session prior to the respite night. And the training sessions cover education on disability types, behavior management strategies, communication techniques, and sensory integration approaches. The volunteers, as well as church staff, and we encourage the children as well, to follow safety precaution and guidelines the entire duration of the night. These include wearing a mask over the nose and mouth, using hand sanitizer upon arrival, before dismissal, and multiple times throughout the entire night. We will also wash our hands with soap and water before eating the snack and the meal. All toys, equipment, and activities will be sanitized and disinfected before every child's use. No two children will use the same activities, equipment, toys without them being disinfected after the previous child used them. And we will also maintain 6-foot distance between all individuals at all times. The only way that 6-foot distance rule would be broken is if an emergency situation were to occur and that a closer distance than 6 feet would need to occur in order to maintain the health, safety, and well-being of all individuals involved. At 9 p.m., you will come back, pick up your child at the church. We ask that you enter again at door 7. We want to just keep door 7 being the intern exit point for everyone. You will sign out your child by providing your signature in time of dismissal, and then you and your child are free to leave, and that is it for the respite night. And I also want to say that immediately following respite night, you may not feel an immediate sense of reduced anxiety or reduced stress, but as the week continues to progress, you may feel as if you do have that increased strength, that increased level of energy, increased motivation, and willingness to participate in activities with your child due to you being provided that time to put your needs first and engage in those self-care activities during that respite time. And research shows that by making respite part of a healthy habit and healthy routine, so by incorporating it into a monthly routine and engaging in respite services every single month instead of just a one-time thing or a two-time thing, making it a monthly routine and habit, that is when the true psychological and health and well-being enhancement and improvements will likely occur. So by you knowing, okay, every month I have these 3 hours that I can do X, Y, and Z, and how that's going to improve my mental health, my physical health, so then I can have this strength, this energy to then put back into my child. And just think of the difference that can make in your life, your child's life, your family life, your social life, your work life, all the different aspects of your health and wellness and life in general. And I want to challenge you to try to see what things you might be missing out on and what things you would like to do with that time. If you had those 3 hours every single month, what would you do? So if you were to incorporate this respite into a monthly routine, what would you like to do with your time? And if you had those things to do every single month, how do you think that would impact your health and wellness and overall psychological well-being? Here are some statistics that I found during my research, during the development of this program, that I want to leave you with because I found them to be very interesting. So in one study, 78% of caregivers reported reduced stress and reduced anxiety through participation in respite services. And caregivers also reported reduced fatigue and claimed respite care services to be essential to their overall health and well-being. And in another study, approximately 98% of caregivers claimed that respite care services made them a better caregiver because it increased their ability to meet the needs of their child and care for their child in general. And the reasons for that were kind of the reasons that I already said before, because they felt like they had more strength, more energy, more effort, and just more endurance because their needs were met, so then they could then meet the needs of their child better. I want to thank you again for registering for the Respite Night here at Noblesville First. I also want to thank you for taking the time to listen to me explain respite services, what all the Respite Night is going to entail here, and how it can benefit you as a caregiver. Please do not hesitate to reach out to us if you have any questions or would like additional information. You can also visit our website as well, and we are very excited to meet you and to share this wonderful opportunity with you. Thank you very much.